evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your Sunday night of viewing here on the Indesim Esports Network. Tonight, we bring you round number 4 of the Australasian Supercar eSeries. I tell you what, we're going dirt racing tonight. Round number 4, we've seen 3 rounds of asphalt ovals. We go dirt racing for the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries. My name's Aidan Schultz, in the booth with you as always after a big day of sim racing today. Joining me in the booth as always here for the Australasian Supercar eSeries is young Ryan Barber. Good evening to you, Ryan.
Good evening, Aidan, and everyone sitting at home.
Mate, tell you what, my bum's a bit wet. I won't talk about that, but we go 24 minutes into the practice session. A bit different tonight. Supercars on the dirt. I'm looking forward to bringing all the action here for round number 4. I know you like a bit of dirt racing. We had supercars, slicks, and on the dirt. It's definitely going to be anyone's tonight.
Yeah, this is right up your alley and up my alley as well. It's different to see the supercars on dirt, so it's going to be fun for both the drivers and us commentating tonight.
It will, as we're on board with Gary Wellman at the moment. He's currently third. We're in the practice session. We've got about 5 minutes left in the practice session before we go into 5-minute 2-lap standalone qualifying. A couple of notables tonight that we need to keep an eye out for. The 02 Southern Stars Esports Racing entry of Darren McKenzie. Raymond Yeager coming off a Daytona 500 today. I was in that with him as well. He's backing up to do the Australasian Supercar eSeries tonight, and he is the reigning champion, the current series leader coming into round number 4. So he's currently doing a good job. Third place in practice at the moment. Andy Barber from Southern Stars Esports Racing in 5th, and Gary Wellman rounding out your 5. A little bit surprised to see Adam Malone down in the 9th position at the moment. He loves a bit of dirt as well as Kobe Jordan. After being in my ear all day today, it'll be good to throw him under the bus in the race. But looking forward to this one tonight. Of course, My Private Seller is the major sponsor of the Australasian Supercar eSeries. If it wasn't for those guys, the Australasian Supercar eSeries would not be able to be brought to you here on the Indesim Esports Network. Of course, Ray White Rural Gander, a big sponsor, and Witcher Electrics and Justin Witcher, your reigning champion. We don't see him in the server at the moment, so he might be sitting this one out. A big shout out to the 199, a Double D, Dave Douglas, currently sitting down there in the 14th position. Double D coming off commentary duties today and deciding to send the 199 car out here for a bit of dirt action, and Dave will be the first to admit he loves a bit of dirt racing, so don't be surprised if we see the 199 of Dave Douglas make his way up through the field as we get into qualifying and into these heat races. And a little bit different tonight, it is heat racing, so there are 2 heats. There'll be 12 laps, 6 to the feature invert 4, so where they qualify is not exactly where they're going to start. So on board with Jai Schultz in the 27. Good evening to you, Jai. I see you're tuning into the broadcast. Good evening to you, Trev Micklemore. Unfortunate for Josh today at the Daytona 500. Thanks for tuning in here on the Indesim Esports Network. But Jai Schultz there, he's currently down in the 11th position here in practice as we're about 27 minutes into the 30-minute practice session. We're about to bring you the 5-minute standalone 2-lap qualifying session before we go into the heat racing run.
Yeah, heat racing is definitely something that we aren't necessarily used to in this series, so it's going to be interesting how these drivers will set their qualifying pace and ultimately make their way into the heat races later on.
Well, how they set their qualifying pace, Ryan, is going to be, I'm going to go as fast as I can sideways and see where that puts me. I tell you what, Paul Jackson, I'll throw him under the bus. I've got focus on crashes on, and all I've seen is Paul Jackson's facing in the wrong direction. You see him having a big tank slapper down the main straight there. So Paul Jackson coming off a Daytona 500, and me and him had a ding-dong battle at the end of that one today. But he comes into the round tonight in the 7th position in the championship. So he was almost willing to sit out and let me have a little bit of a trundle around on dirt tonight, but he's decided to jump in and try and get some points. So Paul Jackson in 231, currently in 16th in practice. 19 drivers, if you don't mind, here for round number 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries. So we're going to see a lot of action here through the heat races, and we go across to a 50-lap feature. So I'm looking forward to that one as well, as the track conditions will evolve.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the heat races and, of course, the main feature. So we'll see who gets into those. And it's definitely going to be. We'll definitely see some more drivers such as Adam Malone, Josh Schultz, Aaron Dillon up there. Definitely in an environment that they would be feeling comfortable in, so they could be scoring some very valuable points.
Yeah, but don't write off the Sim Boys cars as well. We've got Christopher Finlay currently provisionally first here, just in the practice session, and Aaron Dillon in the third place as well. So very tight at the top, although Christopher Finlay 21.19 is quickest at the moment, as opposed to Darren McKenzie with a 21.61. So about a 0.4 of a second gap there between Christopher Finlay and Darren McKenzie. But I tell you what, it's then chockers for the minors. 21.61 by Darren McKenzie, 21.67 and 6.7 for Aaron Dillon, Raymond Yeager, 21.71 for Andy Barber, 21.80 for Gary Wellman in sixth. Cade Donnelly, 21.83. Greg Spencer, 21.87. Adam Malone, 21.92. And 21.95 for Nicholas Walsh, rounding out your 10. So only 0.8 of a second between the top 10 here in the practice session. But you might think that 1/10 of a second is a long way, but this is dirt and anything can happen, as we see Gary Wellman just doing a little bit of his what do you call it? I don't even know what to call that, Ryan. Save me. Little bit of his tank slapper down the back straight there as he just pulls over as we're about to go into the qualifying session. So everyone tuning in here on the InderSim Esports Network, we thank you for tuning in here for round number 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries. Strap yourself in for some supercars on dirt. If you like supercars in real life, I tell you what, put them on dirt with some slicks and you're going to see some action. But we're just about to finish the practice session now, and we're going to go across and do our 5-minute 2-lap standalone qualifying session. So you'll see the drivers. You won't see them all out on track together. They are out on track by themselves, and they've got 2 laps to set the quickest lap they can do and see where they put themselves here for round number 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries, of course, brought to you also by Ray White, Royal Gander and Witcher Electrics. But Jai Schultz in the 27 Blue Collar Autosport entry. He's a namesake. I tell you what, he's got to be quick. He's got a good last name like that. But Jai Schultz out on track first to try and set his quick time here for round number 4. We'll see where the 27 can put himself here in qualifying as we keep on board with him. Ryan, he's just taken the green flag for his first of 2 laps of anger here, and we'll see how he goes. So I can see other drivers doing their laps as well, but we'll stay on board with Jai Schultz and see where that puts him as he makes his way out of turns number 3 and 4 for the first time here at Knoxville Raceway. Down the straight he goes, and where's that going to put Jai Schultz? It's going to put him up into first position provisionally with a 22.45. We'll see if he can go better, but Darren McKenzie's just pipped him as well with a 22.12. So Darren McKenzie, 22.12, provisionally pole. You can see him on your screens now. Tell you what, it's got to be hard for Pete and the cameras tonight. A little bit different doing cameras on dirt, but Darren McKenzie, 22.12. We'll see whether he betters that across the line, and he does, 21.74. So Darren McKenzie to the top with a 21.74. Greg Spencer in second place. And Raymond Yeager, his teammate, set little championship leader coming into this round, just jumps up with a 21.97. So Raymond Yeager up into second, Greg Spencer on your screens now into third. But the times are coming through thick and fast, Ryan, as we're 2 minutes into this 5-minute qualifying session.
Yeah, the times are flowing in, and the drivers are completing their laps at the moment as we're looking on the look here. Greg Spencer looks like he's completed his qualifying session. It's a different format that these, well, not format, different as we're on board with Andy Barber. It's different format for this round, as we see he's in a Skypoint Dirt livery at the moment. So he'll be trying to set his best time. He has set a time already. He's just sitting there in a 7th position. So he'll be trying to do a better lap this time around.
Yeah, looks like he's just pulled out of that one. That's all she said for Andy Barber. So he's provisionally in 7th with a 23 flat. So he's not going to be happy with that one. Done plenty of laps with Andy in the supercars on dirt, and he's a really good steerer. So he's going to want to try and do a little bit better in the race, as we're on board with Cade Donnelly, always there or thereabouts. He's currently good enough for 5th in the qualifying session, so a 22.21. There's a lot of drivers that haven't set a lap at the moment. There are 19 in the field. Good evening to you, Dave Douglas. Thank you for watching, mate. Currently sitting there in 4th in qualifying with the 22.15s. They're on board with Kobe Jordan from Inside Lane Productions. We'll see where he puts the 8.06 up here in the qualifying session. He's coming off a Daytona 500 as well, so a lot of laps behind the sim today. But Kobe Jordan hasn't set a lap yet, and it doesn't look like he's going to do so. So he'll be starting off the back of the heats at the moment. It looks like he's still keeping in the power a little bit, but we'll see how he goes. So Kobe Jordan, as he looks like he's going very slow there. I'm not sure whether that seems like he's going slow or it's just a little bit of optical illusion. But Kobe Jordan makes his way across the line. That puts it 14th quick at the moment with a 24.86. So Christopher Finlay, who was quickest through practice, is all the way down in 13th in the qualifying session. So it just goes to show their practice means nothing at the moment.
Yeah, Todd Maxfield, Paul Jackson, Gary Wellman and Philip Howe, they haven't set a time yet, but Gary Wellman is out on track at the moment. As Kobe Jordan does improve when he goes up to 10th position, Gary Wellman is just coming to finish his qualifying lap. Be interesting. Oh, he's actually looking pretty slow at the moment, but he does move himself up to the 10th position, so he must have completed a lap and made a mistake just then. So still good to see Todd Maxfield, Paul Jackson and Philip Howe complete their laps. So the session will be ending soon.
Yeah, not sure that... what am I looking at there? Looks like Kobe did another lap there. He got another lap in and went better. So he went 24.02 as we're watching Gary Wellman as we're about to finish the 5-minute qualifying session. So it looks like your grid's set here. But ladies and gentlemen, it is 2 heat races. There's going to be 6, the top 6 automatically through to the feature. They're going to invert the top 4. And then, of course, we are going to have a third heat if needed, which it looks like we will. And then we're going to have a constellation. No, we only got 2 heats. So your starting grid for race number 1, heat number 1, it will be Adam Malone off the pole with Cade Donnelly out of P2, Greg Spencer out of P3, Darren McKenzie out of P4. As I said, they inverted the top 4. Andy Barber out of P5, Kobe Jordan out of P6, Stephen Williams out of P7, Christopher Finlay out of 8, Todd Maxfield out of 9, and rounding out your 10 starters tonight for heat number 1, round number 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries is none other than Philip Howe. So we'll go across and see these drivers in pit lane gridding up. So they'll come around, they'll have 2 pace laps, they'll get 2 to green, and then we'll go green flag racing. Just have a look, ladies and gentlemen, when these guys come out of pit lane, they are really hard to handle on cold tyres, especially on the dirt. They are on slicks. They will be sideways. You want to select the gears as early as possible to stop that wheel spin. So you'll generally see them, from my knowledge, they'll be staying in about 4th gear, possibly selecting 5th down the straight, but about 4th gear. As we have a big zoom in there on Andy Barber from Southern Stars Esports Racing, sporting a nice new livery tonight, Sky Point Dirt Oval Series, and I'm sure that car's going to get a lot dirtier than what it looks like tonight. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah, his car definitely looks a lot cleaner than it will be within the next couple laps, as the drivers are starting to grid up now. So these guys will do 2 pace laps before they go green for the 12-lap Heat 1. Of course, the front row of Heat 1 will be Adam Malone and Cade Donnelly, so it's going to be interesting to see how these guys will perform at the race start, especially with cold tyres and slick tyres. So we'll see what happens from here, and yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Adam Malone, Cade Donnelly, Raymond Yeager, Greg Spencer, Dave. Sorry, I can't see at the moment because my internet is having a heart attack. So it has completely stopped on me. So that's really good as we're about to go live. So I'll just do this and see what happens.
These drivers have completed their first pace lap, so they'll be going green this lap, and Adam Malone, Cade Donnelly from the front row, and then Roman Yeager and Darren McKenzie from the second. So we'll see what happens with this race start, and yeah, these drivers will definitely be trying to get themselves up into the feature race later on tonight.
It will be Slide Job City. Do not count that out at all, ladies and gentlemen. Pace car will make its way in this time around. Adam Malone will bring us to the green. Cade Donnelly on the outside of him. You got Raymond Yeager and Darren McKenzie So we're green here for heat number 1, and Adam Malone makes the jump off the start into turns number 1 and 2. Don't know what I'm calling. Adam Malone.
Adam Malone. Adam Malone is in the lead at the moment with Darren McKenzie, Raymond Yeager, and Kay Donnelly closely following. So this is an opportunity for Adam Malone to score some beautiful championship points here. So Adam Malone is in the fight for the championship for the Australasian Supercar eSeries at the moment. So Darren McKenzie, following shortly behind, will be trying to catch Adam Malone here. So yeah, we'll see what the Southern Stars boys can do. Defending from Raymond Yeager, the championship leader, Kate Donnelly, and of course my dad, Andy Barber, will be closely following.
Good to see you've done it already. You've said to my dad, you've done it already, but it is your dad. But Darren McKenzie is ranging right up onto the back of Adam Malone at the front. Raymond Yeager sticking there in third as we see Andy Barber. But Adam Malone, it is a Southern Stars 1, 2 and 5 at the moment. So Adam Malone is no stranger to dirt. He loves doing a bit of dirt racing, especially in the supercar. So he's leading the way. It is a short, sharp burst here, only a 12-lap heat, and these two drivers are making a little bit of headway on Raymond Yeager in third place there in the background as well. So these two Southern Stars drivers definitely making their way forward as Raymond Yeager has got Andy Barber all over the back of him, or Kate Donnelly and Andy Barber having a good little battle. Well, actually, looks like Raymond Yeager's dropped behind that battle as my live timing's about to catch up. So Andy Barber up into the 4th position. In front of him is that Raymond Yeager. It's Greg Spencer. Okay, so my live timing is completely... No, that's Kate Donnelly. It's completely gone. But anyway, we'll go back to the lead of the motor race, and Adam Malone still leading the way over Darren McKenzie. Then we're followed by Kate Donnelly and Andy Barber. I thought it was Kate Donnelly. Kate Donnelly and Andy Barber there fighting for the 3rd and 4th position in this heat race. We've gone lap 7 of 12. Another 6 laps to go, and it's Southern Stars 1 and 2. Here's the battle at the moment for 3rd, 4th and 5th. So that is Kate Donnelly, Andy Barber and Raymond Yeager. So nice little battle here for the minors early on in this heat race, Ryan.
Yeah, these drivers will definitely be pushing hard to make sure that they go into the picture. So the order at the moment is Adam Malone, Darren McKenzie, Kay Donnelly and Andy Barber. So Andy Barber is going to be trying definitely his hardest to get up to the back of Kay Donnelly. So we are lap 9 out of 12. We'll see if Andy Barber can actually get himself up to close to Darren McKenzie the gap at the moment as we look out the rear wing there. Does look like it will be a bit too far for him to catch up and make moves on Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone. But 2 laps to go, and he's closing the gap closely to Kay Donnelly, and if he can pass Kay Donnelly, then Heat 1 will be a Southern Stars 1, 2, 3, which is what he would be hoping for at the moment.
Yeah, and sorry, Raymond, for tuning in on the broadcast, mate. It's really hard. The live timing, I know I've got the tower there, but your live timing has a heart attack when you're broadcasting heat racing, so I do apologise, mate. It is Greg Spencer there. Currently, he's now down in the 6th position from Pinnacle Esports. So Greg Spencer coming off a Daytona 500 as well. So Greg Spencer there, I do apologise, guys, for that. So your top 6 at the moment: Adam Malone, Darren McKenzie, Kay Donnelly, Andy Barber, Todd Maxfield, Greg Spencer, Kobe Jordan back in 7th. He's just been passed by Christopher Finlay, but we'll go back to the lead of the motor race as we go white flag here, and it is on for the front. Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone, they're teammates, but they don't care. There's no orders here. They're side by side as it's going to be Slide Job City into 3 and 4 as Darren McKenzie gets a little bit of push there through the mid corner. Can he make the move down over the strike? He can't, and Adam Malone will just hold on, and he'll be your winner here for heat number 1 of round number 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries, Ryan. So all the viewers tuning in tonight, I tell you what, a little bit of dirt action for the supercars, a little bit different, and that was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, you are right. It is very different, but as we can see, it is a bit more entertaining than usual since these cars are driving sideways, and they anything can really happen here, as we are up to Heat 2 at the moment. Same amount of laps, just a different field here. So we go to our starting grid here with Aaron Dillon and Jai Schultz taking out the front row, with Dave Douglas and Raymond Yeager taking out the second row, with Gary Wellman and Nigel Patton. Nicholas Walsh and John Quass fill up the fourth row, and Paul Jackson is finishing the grid for race 2, heat 2 for the Australasian Supercar eSeries. They are heading on track at the moment now for the grid up. Remember that they will be doing 2 laps before the go green flag here behind the safety car.
Yeah, they will be, and good call there, Ryan. First time you've done a grid, mate. You just took it and you just sent it, mate. So well done. But it will be Aaron Dillon and Jai Schultz off the front row. Double D, our man Dave Douglas, and Raymond Yeager on the outside of the second row. Raymond's actually in this race, unlike the fact that I just called him in the last race. So my apologies, Raymond, because you do have a very similar livery because you are teammates. Gary Wellman, Nigel Payton off the third row. Nicholas Walsh, John Quass, Paul Jackson rounding out your 9. Hopefully block up Paul Jackson can have a nice little start. Dave Douglas showing a little bit of love there to Aaron Dillon there, going, Dillo, I'm here, a little bit of a tappy, I'm coming for you. So don't be surprised when we see Dave Douglas, the 199 Double D, try and make his way up early in this one. He loves a bit of dirt. I know he's tuning in here on the broadcast. Hopefully he's not watching while he's driving, because these things are hard enough to drive on tarmac. Look at him giving Aaron Dillon a little bit of a love tap there. So Dave Douglas is definitely ready to race here for heat number 2, as Aaron Dillon will bring us to the green. On the outside will be Jai Schultz trying to slingshot around the outside. Watch Raymond Yeager out of the outside of the second row as well. And we are green. Aaron Dillon with a great start there. And we've got tank slappers down the main straight, but it will be Aaron Dillon into turn number 1. Dave Douglas catching a lot of the inside mound there, and Gary Wellman just goes straight into the back of him as well. So as they make their way out of turns number 1 and 2 for the first time, Aaron Dillon leads us into 3 and 4, and Dave Douglas and Jai Schultz your third. Raymond Yeager hanging on the outside there as well, but Jai Schultz pulling up onto the back of Dave Douglas, and they're slowly trying to catch Aaron Dillon as well, as Dave Douglas catches a lot of the inside banking there into turns 1 and 2, and he's going to turn around, and he does a good job to save it, and that allows Jai Schultz to move up into the second position. So Dave Douglas sending it really hard early on this one, as he's going to go right down and going right on the inside, and he goes, I'm just going to go the short way around here, and off I go. And Raymond Yeager to get the job done. So on board, have a look at the wheelwork, ladies and gentlemen, that's involved on board here in the Supercar on dirt. Have a look at the wheelwork. It's absolutely going everywhere. So nice little start there. Aaron Dillon, you can see down the road, but on board with Dave Douglas there, trying to get the car rotated through turns number 1 and 2. So Dave Douglas, after starting out of P3, is back in P4. Raymond Yeager trying to get a little bit of a run there. So Raymond Yeager's just set the fastest lap of the race, and he's trying to get a run on Jai Schultz, and he's going to get that down the back stretch for the 4th time of asking. And he's going to do a big slide job into 3 and 4, and Raymond Yeager's going to make the move up into second spot. Dave Douglas is going to follow suit, and that's going to have 2 spots of Jai Schultz, and he's going to move down into the 4th place, 5 laps. Tell you what, Raymond Yeager's got the 23 Pinnacle Esports entry absolutely humming, and he's making his way up onto the back of Aaron Dillon, and he's going to do slide job again for Raymond Yeager into turns number 3 and 4, and he's just got into the side of Aaron Dillon. I hear a bit of sorry in the background, but Raymond Yeager will take the lead, and look who's coming in the background, Dave Douglas, Double D. He wants a part of this too. Slide job city here for the Supercars, Australasian Supercars eSeries here at Knoxville. Have a look at this, and Aaron Dillon's coming back for another bite. He goes, come on boys, we're going 3 wide as we go into 3 and 4 for the 6th time here. I tell you what, how about this heat race, Ryan?
Yeah, and in the background, I actually noticed a few cars crashing in the barrier, as we see who's that. Dave Douglas make contact with the outside barrier, and he's when he's around, he'll be trying to get faced the right way, and hopefully use his Mario Kart shortcuts like he was early in the race. But we're on board with Jai Schultz at the moment in 3rd position. He'll be chasing down Aaron Dillon and Raymond Yeager. Raymond Yeager is proving to all of us that he is very well deserved to be leading the championship right now, and not only doing well on tarmac but doing well on dirt. So we are still looking at Dry Schultz at the moment, making the
Let's,
ramp to the back of Aaron Dillon, and he is closing the gap rapidly.
100%. Let's concentrate on Raymond Yeager as he's at the front of the race at the moment, because it is a short heat race. He deserves all the airtime. He started out of the 4th position outside of that 2nd row, and he's shown a bit of pace, and he's got a clean set of heels, 1.6 seconds up the road from Aaron Dillon, so he can race ovals on road. He says he's not the best at actual road courses, you'll say that, but I don't know whether that's the case, as he's definitely knowing how to steer this 23 Pinnacle Esports Commodore here for the Australasian Supercar eSeries on dirt. So Raymond Yeager, 10 laps of 12 for the heat race. Looks like bar anything going wrong, he's going to take the heat race win here. He'll go across the strike this time around, take the second to last lap. So Raymond Yeager and Aaron Dillon and Dry Schultz as your top 3 here for this heat race. Aaron Dillon just sets the fastest lap of the race. He's trying to chase him down there in the 2nd place, but it looks like it is a little bit too late here from Aaron Dillon. So Raymond Yeager will come across the strike for the second to last time. He'll take white flag here for heat number 2. It's going to be Southern Stars heat number 1, Pinnacle Esports heat number 2, unless he does a double D on the inside and turns the car around. Paul Jackson about to go a lap down. Paul Jackson, he said he's not the best on dirt, but he's having a bit of fun tonight just trying to get some points. But Raymond Yeager about to go across the line, and he'll take heat number 2, Raymond Yeager, for heat number 2 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries. Aaron Dillon comes home in 2nd. Jai Schultz holds on for 3rd. Nicholas Walsh comes home in 4th. And Dave Douglas, after that unfortunate spin in heat number 1, will come home in P number 5. So he's going to have a lot of work to do through the consolation, if he's in the consolation. So only the top 6. So he's already through to the feature. So Gary Wellman makes it through to the feature. So we go across to the consolation race now. They're going to do a quick 5-minute warm-up session. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll just let us catch our breath before we bring you the... I know they're going to go straight to the feature. They've skipped the consolation, so everyone's through to the feature. So we'll just let you go and watch these guys do a little bit of warm-up for a couple of minutes. Well, Ryan and myself just catch our breath and ready to bring you 50 laps of action here for round number 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries here from Knoxville Raceway for Supercars on Dirt, so stay tuned. So we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Aidan Schultz and Ryan Barber with you. I've got the vocal cords completely pressured up as the driver 2.5 minutes into this warm-up session. The Ryan 50-lap feature. What are you looking forward to the most about this one?
Aidan, I'm looking forward to these drivers having a good hard crack at getting a solid position here as we were taking a break. I was watching cameras, and Paul Jackson has spun around a couple of times, and I would assume that other people would be as well. So 12 drivers out on track at the moment with Andy Barber, my dad, actually
there we go.
First place, yeah. So yeah, it's going to be interesting seeing. Oh, let's go big Jordan slaps the fence there. So
it's the old man up into the top place with the 21.73, but albeit this means nothing, ladies and gentlemen. This is the warm-up session. We've had the heats. The grid is set for the feature race, the 50-lap feature race, and that'll come to you live, thick and fast here on the InterSim Esports Network in the next minute and 20 seconds as this warm-up session does come to an end. It will be Adam Malone off the pole with Raymond Yeager on the outside of that front row. I'd strongly suggest after how they finished in the heat races. So Adam Malone taking some points there through the heat races. Not sure whether they give points on the heat races or whether it's just the feature race. So it's definitely looking good for Adam Malone anyway. Currently coming into the championship, sitting joint second, I think, in points. So this is going to look good for him as well. But I tell you what, Raymond Yeager, your championship leader, coming into this one, won his heat race as well. So Raymond Yeager in the 23, he's going to give everyone something to think about here. And he's going to try and bank a lot of points. But this is Speedway racing. It's a supercar speedway here on the InterSim Esports Network for the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries. 50 laps of 600 plus horsepower on slicks, on dirt. It can be anyone's. Anything's going to happen as we've got 20 seconds left in this warm-up session, Ryan.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to be a fight for the win tonight after we saw both heat races. So yeah, we're on board with Raymond Yeager at the moment, the championship leader. So he's been doing a stellar job this entire series, I must say. You, Aiden, actually, you do have experience on speedways. So in case people didn't know,
we're not talking about me. Let's move on. So it is Raymond Yeager. Sorry, I don't like talking about myself on the broadcast, mate. I really don't. I only because I had a crap day today. So, but no, I do have a bit of experience there. So it is good. I'm a little bit disappointed that I don't get to race it tonight because I would have really enjoyed it. But let's go through your grid here for the feature race, 50-lap feature race. If we can bring that up on the grid. We're just going to wait for all the drivers to jump in. So it will be Adam Malone off the pole position with Raymond Yeager out of P2, Darren McKenzie and Aaron Dillon out of 3 and 4. Kate Donnelly and Jai Schultz off your third row. Andy Barber and Nicholas Walsh off your fourth row. Greg Spencer and Dave Douglas will start off your fifth row in 9th and 10th with Todd Maxfield and Gary Wellman starting out 11th and 12th tonight. We go across the grid to 13th position. It'll be Christopher Finlay filling that spot with Paul Jackson out of P14. Kobe Jordan out of 15th. Nigel Payton out of 16th. Stevie Williams out of 17th. John Class in 18th. And rounding out your 19 starters here for your 50-lap feature here for round number 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries is none other than Johnny Class. So they come out of pit lane here, Ryan. I didn't mean to cut you off then. I don't like talking about myself a little bit. I'm not in my real world stuff. So I do have a little bit of experience there. I'm actually really disappointed I don't get to race tonight because I've had some ding-dong battles with Adam Malone and Raymond Yeager, and I don't mind the supercar on dirt. So I was hoping Paul would allow me to race and he get into the broadcast booth, but he decided to get some points tonight. So good to see Paul out there. Hopefully he can get a big bag full of points tonight and put the 2-3-1 a little bit further up in the championship. There's a little bit of a depleted field here tonight as it is dirt, but still 19 cars. Very good turnout by all the guys. We've got one more lap to go to green this time around.
Yeah, and Adam Malone and Raymond Yeager from the front row is definitely going to be a strong battle for the first couple of laps. So Aaron Dillon and Darren McKenzie also in the second row with Jai Schultz and Kate Donnelly on the third row. So those 6 drivers are going to be racing hard at the start there, and we can't forget about the other drivers in the field. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the safety car vehicle does get called out.
Well, here we go. We've got Adam Malone bringing us to the pole. Raymond Yeager on the outside. We've gone green as they make their way down the main straight at Knoxville. And Adam Malone, great jump there out of the pole position. Darren McKenzie trying to make the move on Raymond Yeager into 1 and 2. He couldn't get the job done there. Gets really crossed up in the background. Let's go and allow Andy Barber to get a good run Andy Barber up into 4th spot, so it's Southern Stars 1, Pinnacle Esports 2, Southern Stars 3 and 4 as they make their way through the 3 and 4 turns for the first time of asking of 50. So Adam Malone making the way. I'll tell you what, Raymond Yeager, he's got this thing on rails and he is coming for Adam Malone, albeit lap 1. He's feeling really comfortable in behind the 23 Pinnacle Esports entry. See Darren McKenzie there making his way. Have a look at those images here on the Sydney Esports Network. Supercars sideways here on Dirt Oval as Adam Malone goes through 3 and 4 for the second time tonight. I'll tell you what, it's heating up the front already. I'm getting excited. If I've got to call this for another 50 laps, I'm going to run out of breath as Darren McKenzie's getting a good run on the outside of Raymond Yeager. He's ripping the lip around the high side and getting the job done, trying to get the job done around Raymond Yeager as they go into turns number 1 and 2 again. He's holding on that high side line, trying to get the run around Raymond Yeager. He's going to do the switchback down the front straight through 3 and 4. And Darren McKenzie's going to do a big slide job into 1 and 2. And there's a change to second position. Darren McKenzie making his way up into second position at Southern Stars 1 and 2 at the front, Ryan.
Yeah, and Andy Barber's actually stolen the 3rd position there. So at the moment it is a Southern Stars 1, 2 and 3. Wow, holy shit. What? Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. The 5 laps to this race has been absolutely wild, and I've got to catch my breath. My heart's like beating out of my throat right now.
You just had your first swear second swear on the Industry Esports Network. So only about 4 broadcasts, Ryan, and you've sworn twice out of the 4 broadcasts. So at least you're keeping it consistent. But he does beats in my ear saying he's got the passion. He does. But it's Southern Stars 1, 2, 3, Raymond Yeager in 4, Aaron Dillon in 5th. It's heating up for the first position at the moment. There's no team orders here, ladies and gentlemen, as Darren McKenzie is really looking racy in behind Adam Malone at the lead of this motor race. Darren McKenzie, you'll see these cars as the track does slick off a little bit. They actually go a lot quicker as we're watching Andy Barber and Raymond Yeager go through turns number 1 and 2. As the track does slick off, if it does in this server, which it looks like the track's pretty muddy at the moment, pardon the pun, it is a dirt oval, but as it does slicken off, because they're on slick tyres and they heat up, they get a lot quicker. So we'll see how that plays out. So back to the lead, Darren McKenzie still poking his nose up the inside of Adam Malone, but Adam Malone still doing the better of it as Darren McKenzie gets really close to swiping the outside wall there out of turns number 1 and 2 for the 8th time tonight as they're navigating their way past lap traffic. That's the DPRSimrigs.com entry of Stevie Williams there in the 98. Back on board now. That looks like, I can't keep up, cameras keep moving. Adam Malone in the 1st position, so he's still there, but we'll catch our breath at the moment. No cautions so far. Drivers being very cautious here, as much as it's creating some good racing. Drivers being very cautious. No cautions here so far. 10 laps in 250, as that's Raymond Yeager in the 4th position, Ryan.
Yeah, and Raymond Yeager's going to be passing lap traffic here as he's passing. Unfortunately, I forgot who that is.
That's Stevie Williams there. He's trying to get the job done on the 98 DPRSimrigs.com entry of Stephen Williams.
Yeah. Raymond Yeager will be making moves on Stephen Williams, as I just got corrected by Aiden there. So the Southern Stars 1, 2, 3 boys out in the front there. Darren McKenzie has stolen the lead from Adam Malone. Andy Barber is within half a second of that. So no team orders at Southern Stars, so these boys will be racing hard, and we'll see if there's a safety car later if needed, and that would mix up the field.
100%, and Brett Campbell's just tuned into the chat. Good evening to you, Brett Campbell. No cautions tonight. Apparently cautions are off for some reason. So it's going to be over before we know it. Darren McKenzie just set the fastest lap of the race, as you see, just edging a little bit away from Adam Malone. Andy Barber there in 3rd, and we've gone backwards. That's just a little bit of DJing here on the Intersim Esports Network as we go back live. So we'll just wait to see that, because we've still got a black screen as we go back live. So we're back live, the good old technical gremlins on a live broadcast. Gotta love that one. But have a look at those drivers go into We are. So as we go in, oh, big lick there by the looks of Greg Spencer into the outside wall. So have a look at these pictures as they make their way past the screen. Oh, look at that. How good's that, Ryan, as Darren McKenzie makes his way past Adam Malone and Adam and Andy Barber in third spot. So the battle for third spot is definitely heating up between the teammates Adam Malone and Andy Barber there, as you can see, as they make their way through the turns. 15 laps into 50, still a long way to go. Still a lot to play out here for round number 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries run.
Yeah, we're on board with Andy Barber, just moved up in the second position. Not sure what happened to Darren McKenzie. It doesn't look like he is...
he's dropped right down. Yeah. He's in pit lane. So I just saw him come up. I just saw him come up on my screen. I can hear him in the background. Kate Donnelly's turned around as well. I've got focus on crashes on my other screen. So it's now Adam Malone and Andy Barber set free at the front of the motor race. So Darren McKenzie's definitely not going to be happy with that one after leading this one early on. Only 17 into 50 and Darren McKenzie in pit lane, as is Todd Maxfield, Kate Donnelly and Dave Douglas. So a couple of drivers here for the 50-lap feature race in pit lane, not the way they want to start it. There are no cautions for some reason, so those drivers are pretty much done and dusted tonight, as Andy Barber is still trying to chase down Adam Malone here in the lead of the motor race. This is really good for Adam Malone so far. It'll be great for his championship points, as it will be for Andy Barber. Raymond Yeager, your championship leader, sitting back there in third. He's 4 seconds off the lead battle at the moment, but it's all about the Southern Stars guys at the front, 1 and 2. Adam Malone and Andy Barber, as they make their way through turns number 1 and 2 once again. I tell you what though, Ryan, I know you're excited, Southern Stars at the front being your teammates, but I tell you what, there's no team orders, so don't be surprised if we see a battle for the lead, as we're on board with Raymond Yeager. He's currently holding the third position. He's got, there's an incident in the background by the looks of that one as well. We'll just keep live on with Raymond Yeager. He's in second, so he's moved up. So it looks like Adam Malone's had a big incident in the background as well. So we'll go back to the replay and see what happened to Adam Malone in second place. He's now dropped back to fourth, and that's a commentator's curse if we've ever seen one. Adam Malone makes his way down into turns number 3 and 4. Oh, he's just going to catch that inside cushion there, and Andy Barber, his teammate, did, as the car in the background, Andy Barber there just gives him a little bit of a helping hand to finish that one off.
Yeah, we're only 21 laps into 50, so his race isn't over yet. There is a 1.5 gap to the lead, if I'm correct. So Adam Malone is very quick on dirt, as he's proven himself tonight. So we'll see if Adam Malone can move himself back up to second position. No commentator's curse will be spread right now. So at the moment, it's Andy Barber, Raymond Yeager and Gary Wellman in the top 3, with Adam Malone and Greg Spencer in 4th and 5th. Only 5 drivers on the lead lap tonight, so Greg Spencer is the last person on the lead lap at the moment. So these drivers are driving very hard and fast, and Andy Barber is approaching and overtaking traffic at the moment. He is in a different livery tonight, as we do switch cameras over to Raymond Yeager. Andy Barber is sponsored by the SkyPoint Dirt Oval Series. Just plug the series really quickly. They are a series that is run on a Thursday night at 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. They are looking for some more drivers to run there. So yeah, interesting race. He does get a bit sideways. Luckily, he catches that, and that does allow Raymond Yeager to start catching him. So hopefully that isn't the wrong move. Hopefully I haven't spread the commentator's curse on Andy Barber there, but Raymond Yeager will be chasing the number 5 of the Southern Stars, number 5 of Andy Barber.
Yeah, exactly. And he did mention the SkyPoint Dirt Oval Series. We see Corey Brand jumping into the chat saying, Cameron Jones, I feel like this comp you should be in, ha ha ha. Well, I tell you what, Corey Brand, you let Cameron Jones know that, as Andy just mentioned, this is the Australasian Supercar eSeries. It's not a Dirt Oval Series. They just come to dirt for one round. They're usually supercars on oval, asphalt ovals. But the SkyPoint Dirt Oval Series, as Ryan did mention, they are supercars on the dirt, and they are on a Thursday night and they are always looking for new members. So if you want to do some supercars on dirt on a Thursday night, jump into the Sky Point Dirt Oval League on iRacing. We can give you the Discord links and everything later on. But Raymond Yeager in second place. He's got that gap down to now 2.6 seconds to Andy Barber, but he's got a lap car between himself and Andy to navigate yet. And he's looks like he's going to get that job done as we're getting used to the cameras here, though, ladies and gentlemen. It's a little bit different broadcasting dirt, so a little bit far away for us to tell which car is which. But there we go, we're back on with Raymond Yeager. So he's now got that gap down to 1-1 second on Andy Barber. So Raymond Yeager getting stronger and stronger as they make their way across the start-finish line. They're going to go lap 30 or 50. So 30 in the bank, ladies and gentlemen, just 20 to go. And we've got 2 seconds between first second of Andy Barber and Raymond Yeager. Gary Wellman sitting there in third place too. Don't write off Gaz. He loves a good steer as well. We see Aaron Dillon tuning in to the broadcast as well. So Aaron Dillon, Gaz is doing well there in third place, so he's doing good. Adam Malone trying to fight his way back to try and get onto the back of the podium. He's going to have Gary Wellman in front of him. You can see Gary just into the fence there on in front of Adam, so that's going to help Adam try and get the job done on Gary. So 19 laps to go. The fight for the minor place on the podium. Third place is definitely heating up between Gary Wellman and Adam Malone, as it is still Andy Barber and Raymond Yeager leading the way. But we'll keep on board with this little battle. Gary Wellman from Simboys Racing out of Melbourne, or in Tassie, sorry. I know some of them in Melbourne, some in Tassie. I think Troy Davidson in Melbourne, but I know Aaron Dillon and the boys are in Tassie. So big shout out to those guys. I know they love tuning into the InterSim Esports Network and love being a part of the Australasian Supercar eSeries. But Adam Malone getting a job done on the lap car there as well. And this is going to start heating up. 33 into 50. It's the fight for the final place on the podium. Who's going to get the job done? Is it going to be New South Wales or is it going to be Tasmania? We'll find out in the next 17 laps, Ryan.
Yeah, Adam Malone's definitely making moves at the moment. He is trying to fix his mistake early in the race after oversteering, if that is the right word for the Dirt Oval Series. Not Dirt Oval Series, the Australasian Supercar E-Series. He is 7 tenths of a second away from Gary Wellman, so move is possible at the moment. Gary Wellman is also a very skilled driver, so it won't be easy. Raymond Yeager sitting in the second position. The gap is now a second to Andy Barber. The big question here is, will he be able to catch him? Andy Barber does have...
They go into the wall in the 1 and 2. Raymond Yeager's gone into the wall in 1 or 2, so got a big push there in the 1 and 2, and that sent the 23 up into the outside wall. So that might have put a little bit of pay to the effort that Raymond Yeager's just put in the last 2 laps. You saw Paul Jackson there in the foreground. He was a lap car, but Raymond Yeager's now allowed Gary Wellman, as Paul Jackson's starting to get his head around the car as he's trying to actually get up on the leader at the moment of Andy Barber. He's a lap down, but he's entitled to do that. This is Speedway. You're fighting for position. Raymond Yeager goes through your shot. The cameras keep changing really quickly. But, yeah, Andy Barber leading the way. Raymond Yeager, though, now, and Gary Wellman and Adam Malone, they're really close for the fight for the minors here. So that's second place of Raymond Yeager. You'll see Gary Wellman just in behind him, and he's got Adam Malone all over the back of him as well. So we're off the back of Raymond Yeager at the moment. So you'll see Gary Wellman. It's a bit hard because they're always sideways, but you can see Gary Wellman's headlights just a little bit there. And the next one you'll see coming out of turns number 1 and 2 is Adam Malone. So that's about a second and a half. So it's about a second and a half between first, second, third and fourth on track at the moment. So Raymond Yeager, though, last time around took another 2 tenths out of Andy Barber. So we've got now 39 to 50, 11 laps to go. Does Raymond Yeager have anything to try and put the sword to Andy Barber in this one and try and spoil the Southern Stars Esports win here for round number 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar E-Series? Time will tell, and in 10 laps time and about 5 minutes time, we'll be able to tell who's going to bring home round number 4. Gary Wellman is just extending his legs there on Adam Malone in the 4th position, so he's looking good for a 3rd place finish tonight, but it's dirt oval. It is anyone's. We've seen Andy Barber make a mistake. We saw Raymond Yeager into the wall just a couple of laps ago in the 2nd position. Will it be Gary Wellman, and will he hand the 3rd spot over to Adam Malone? Time will tell. But Ryan, in the 41, in the 50, it's gone really quickly. I hope you've enjoyed all the action here on the IndySim Esports Network. I tell you what, it's hard to call dirt when you don't call a lot of it, but I hope you've enjoyed the action and being able to call it with me, mate, because how good is it to watch?
Oh, this is amazing. They're flying. Seeing the supercars just driving out the corner sideways, something you don't necessarily see when you're watching the supercars. Usually, if the supercar does go sideways, usually they might poop their pants. But for dirt ovals, that's all they want is to stay sideways, stay gripped up, and get through the corners quick. Raymond Yeager has been catching up to Andy Barber a few times during the race, unfortunately making a few mistakes, but it is possible. There is 7 laps until the white flag will be thrown out, as we do have a bit of a connection issue, bit of a camera issue at the moment. So the gap to Andy Barber is closing rapidly. I'm not sure if Andy Barber did make a mistake, as the gap has moved to 0.8 of a second. Hopefully he did not. Adam Malone has also passed Gary Wellman for the first spot on the podium. So there's a Southern Stars 1, 2, and
no, Southern Stars 1, Pinnacle Esports 2 at the moment, Adam Malone in P number 3. Let's go back to the lead battle at the moment. It's gone down to about half a second between Andy Barber and Raymond Yeager. So you can see Andy Barber making his way through turns number 2. Raymond Yeager all over the back of him at the moment. So does Raymond Yeager have anything for Andy Barber with just a handful of laps to go here for round number 4, the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries? Next time across the strike as they make their way into 3 and 4, it'll be lap 47 of 50. Just 4 to go, but have a look at this. Raymond Yeager ranging right up on the back of Andy Barber. He's going to want to have a dip. Will he do a slide job in the next couple of laps? Time will tell, but Andy Barber just keeping his car as straight as possible in the first position, trying to eliminate that wheel spin and get the power to the ground as quick as he can as he makes his way out of turn number 1 and 2 for the 4th last time tonight in the Sky Point Dirt Oval Series packed. Southern Stars 05 of Andy Barber. Raymond Yeager, he's getting good drive. They've got lap cars to contend with there. And Raymond Yeager just poking, that's a new word, poking the nose of the Pinnacle Esports car up the inside. But it's still status quo at the front. It's all happening. Does Raymond Yeager have anything? He's keeping it about 0.4 of a second. He's trying to get that run. You can see him. He's trying to square the car up off the turns. So you can see him there. He's trying to square it up to try and get the run. But that's also making him come a little bit shallow into the next corner. So you'll see him here. He'll try to square the car up off the turn and try and get the run and get the power down. He can't quite get close enough this time around. So we're second last lap, 2 laps to go. Who's going to get the job done? Andy Barber or Raymond Yeager? Who will it be as they make their way across the strike to take the final lap? Raymond Yeager with a big dive down the inside. Look at that push through the middle of the corner. Is he going to get the drive out of 1 and 2? He gets good drive. Andy Barber gets a similar drive on the outside line. Not there to be able to do the slider. Will Andy keep the car straight and be able to get the job done? It looks like he will as Raymond Yeager gets pushed mid-corner, and Andy Barber will take home round number 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries. Raymond Yeager home in P number 2. He's going to extend his championship lead at the front of this one after round number 4, and Adam Malone coming home in P3 tonight for Southern Stars Esports Racing. Gary Wellman home in P number 4, and Greg Spencer in P number 5, Ryan.
Yeah, Raymond Yeager was throwing everything at Andy Barber just then to attempt to steal the win off him, as Andy Barber is doing his burnouts on the front straight there. Adam Malone's flashing his lights. Looks like he is very excited for this for the result at the moment. There is a bit of donut action with Adam Malone too. So stellar drive for Andy Barber there. He is pushing Adam Malone back in the pit lane. Says, "Get off the front straight. The burnouts are for me." So,
saying, "Get out! You're taking my limelight, mate. Get out, go."
Yeah. He's like, "Adam, you're stealing my screen time, mate. I've got to do some dough." He's I would assume Andy Barber would be imagining that tyre smoke would be blowing behind the cars, but they're not. It does look like they're trying to do burnouts of each other. It doesn't work on the oval, as they are having a bit of tug of war on the front straight there. Stellar drive from Andy Barber, Raymond Yeager, and Adam Malone, and Yeah, we'll get ready to interview those drivers.
Let's go through your finish. Let's go through your finishing. Yeah, definitely, Ryan. Let's quickly go through your finishing order here for round number 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries. So it was, when it comes up on the screen, because our things are doing a great thing tonight here on the broadcast, throwing us under the bus. So we will see whether we can bring up the final finishing positions here for round number 4 before we have a chat to the drivers. Anyway, I'll bring you your standings anyway. I've got the standings. We can't bring it up on screen, but your standings here for round number 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries. It was Andy Barber, Raymond Yeager and Adam Malone taking your 1, 2, 3. Gary Wellman come home in 4th with Greg Spencer in P number 5. Christopher Finlay home in 6th tonight. Nigel Payton in 7th. Paul Jackson, Kobe Jordan, Todd Maxfield rounded out your 10. Darren McKenzie home in 11th. As they come up, you can see there, Darren McKenzie home in 11th. Aaron Dillon in 12th. Steve Williams 13th. Jai Schultz 14th. Cade Donnelly 15th. Dave Douglas 16th. Nicholas Walsh 17th. And John Quass there in 18th. 50 laps down. Did not contest the feature race tonight. We'll bring the drivers up into the broadcast booth. There's one man missing. He's always late for a party. I tell you what. He's the winner. He needs to get in there. What's he doing? So we'll bring him up. We don't need to talk to him yet. Let's bring the other drivers up into the broadcast booth. So we'll move them up here now and we'll have a little bit of a chat to them. Okay, so I've moved a couple of them up. We'll just wait for Andy in a moment. But we'll start off with your 3rd place getter tonight. Adam Malone, mate, good evening to you. Started off with a heat race win, mate. Come into the feature race, started off the pole, led the race early, and one little mistake there and put you back into 5th or 6th spot, and you had to fight hard to get back onto the back end of the podium for that one.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult with those lap cars there. It hit it pretty hard, but I ended up hitting the inside of that lip there, and that was it. I just went sideways from there, and yeah, had to try to make a march through the rest of the pack to get 3rd, which I'm pretty stoked.
I saw that Andy Barber, your teammate, give you a little bit of a helping hand there when you hit the inside apron there. He goes, "You're on your way. I might as well just finish the job."
Yeah, I think there was nothing he could do. He couldn't get out of the way quick enough, but yeah, that's racing.
Well, Adam, mate, P3 tonight, come into round number 4 tonight with a pretty good position, I think, in the top 3, tied with your teammate Tom Pritchard, who didn't turn out tonight, unfortunately. So, albeit we could have got a P1 tonight, you were quick, but nice solid podium, nice bag of points for round number 4, heading into round number 5 next week.
Yeah, cheers, mate. It's a bit of a shame for Tom. I was surprised he didn't make it, but yeah, pretty stoked where I'm finishing.
Ryan, I'll jump across to you, mate. Have a chat with Adam.
Yeah, Adam, you've got to be happy with that. Southern Stars moving your green Southern Stars vehicle into the 1st and 3rd podium spot tonight. How do you feel converting over to dirt from the usual tarmac, which is raced at the Australasian Supercar eSeries? How do you feel with the difference between tarmac and dirt? What do you think is most preferred by you?
I like both of them actually. I don't mind the dirt. It's a lot of fun actually, and yeah, there's not much to say really. I prefer both of them.
We've definitely seen that, mate, because you've been up there fighting for the wins in the first 3 rounds on tarmac. We went to dirt tonight and you were definitely quick. But coming home in P3 tonight, a big congratulations on your P3, a big shout out to those sponsors and everyone involved.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Shout out to Michigan XL Garage, SkyPoint, Tiona Holiday Park, and the Southern Stars Esports team.
No worries at all, mate. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your 3rd place getter tonight, the number 4 Southern Stars Esports Racing entry of Adam Malone, moves us across to your current series leader. He's going to extend his points lead at the top of the championship out around number 4. Raymond Yeager coming off a Daytona 500 today. Not the race you would have wanted there, but it's Australasian Supercar eSeries tonight. And I tell you what, you're not usually the most confident, but you had a quick 23 Pinnacle Esports car tonight, and you've got to be happy with the P2 to extend the championship lead at the front.
Yeah, look, absolutely. I wasn't 100% sure what to expect tonight because obviously some of the boys are running in a dedicated V8 dirt league, and I know that they're really really quick. But obviously myself and Greg have done a lot of laps around here, getting the setup right, making sure the racing was going to be pretty good. So that obviously showed tonight, and I feel really comfortable. And look, P2 had a crack at Andy at the end there. Didn't want to spin him or anything, so just in the end, just sat on his butt and hoped he made a mistake, basically, and he didn't. Fair play to him, great win.
I've heard from Andy, he likes people sitting on his butt, so that's all good. But I tell you what, good job, mate. Got the job done into P2. Like I said, extended that championship lead at the front, done a lot of laps around here. You've got to be happy, 19 cars, a little bit of a depleted field, as much as that's a really big field, but moving into dirt, there were going to be a couple of drivers probably that didn't feel so comfortable on dirt. Only the one round on dirt this season, but 19 car field, and for the best part, it was some really good racing.
Yeah, again, I didn't know what to expect with numbers. It's obviously very, very different to what we usually do. So I wasn't sure if we were going to get 8 cars or 20 cars or 30 cars. So to get 19, absolutely stoked. And to be fair, every single one of them really come to grips with the car and the setup and the track really, really quite quickly. And the racing, from what I saw, was pretty good. There was a couple of incidents with lap cars during the feature, unfortunately, but it's a difficult thing, these cars on this surface, so it is what it is a little bit, but yeah, overall stoked, to be honest.
I'll tell you what, I was a little bit jealous up here in the broadcast booth. You know, I like doing a bit of dirt, and I would have loved to have been steering the number 52 Ford Mustang around tonight, but I tell you what, I had a great job up in the broadcast booth calling it, so I hope I did it justice, and myself and Ryan. But hopefully next season I might be able to get a run in maybe one dirt round. I wouldn't mind doing that and doing a cameo, because I will be in the broadcast booth, mate. So look out for the 52 if I ever get a run.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, I've obviously run with you in that other league, and you're obviously really quick in these cars on dirt, so it'd be nice to have you out there, but obviously priorities, mate. Up in the commentary box, doing a great job, and look, maybe
doing a great job, mate, when I call the right car, unopposed to he's number one, mate. So
look, I've been up there with you. I know what it's like when the timing doesn't work, so I feel you.
Anyway, Raymond, mate, P2 tonight, extending that championship lead at the top here after round 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries. A big shout out to all those sponsors and everyone involved.
Yeah, mate, thanks. Look, I'll obviously thank the team first, Matt Patton, Nigel Patton, Greg Spencer and Justin Witcher. Without those boys, it's not as fun to get on and race, so love it. Sponsors-wise, we got a ton. So 186, Speech and Language Development Australia, CarWorks, Witcher Electrics, the Sim Racing Edge, who provide our setups. And obviously, while I'm here, I'll just mention our amazing league sponsors, My Private Seller, Ray White Royal Gander, the Sim Racing Edge again, Witcher Electrics again, and of course you boys at InterSim Esports Network, who, as I said before, do an amazing job bringing the content to everyone each week and showing everyone how good these V8s are on ovals and now dirt.
100%, mate, and it's our pleasure. We absolutely enjoy it. So we hope that all viewers enjoy everything we bring to you here on the InterSim Esports Network. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is P number 2, and he's going to extend his championship lead here after round number 4 at Knoxville Raceway. The 23 Pinnacle Esports pilot of Raymond Yeager. That moves us across to none other than Andrew J. Barber. I have to put that officially because, mate, P1 here for round number 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries. First win of the season. I was going to go Southern Stars 1, 2, 3 at some stage there. Unfortunate for Adam, unfortunate for Darren. Adam coming home with P3. Darren with a bit of an issue early on in that feature race. But you put in the number 5 Skypoint Dirt Oval Series back Southern Stars car in P1, mate. You've got to be happy with the W tonight.
Yeah, mate. No, it was a really good race, and it was definitely, trying to work through that traffic and trying to get the gaps. And I think there was a bit of a moment where we were 3 wide there at some stage where it was a bit sketchy, but absolutely great race. And I tell you what, Raymond absolutely made me work for it. I didn't get it easy, put it that way.
Yeah, we could see that. I was getting a bit excited, but what I'll do is I'll put you straight across to the young namesake, Ryan Barber, mate. A bit of father-son time. Ryan up here in the broadcast booth with me. Have a chat to the old boy, and I'll let you do the interview here with Andy.
Yeah, I'm not used to calling you Andy Barber, so I'm gonna take my opportunity.
Call him Dad, mate. Call him Dad.
Yeah. So Andy Barber. So how do you feel about taking the W in this race? We haven't really seen you up there during the season. So how does it feel finally getting a win in the Australasian Supercar eSeries?
Oh, mate, I think the difference was the asphalt to the dirt. I think that's the difference there. I think a lot of the boys do have me covered on the asphalt in the supercar, and starting with season 1 and season 2, I've learned over those couple of seasons and trying to get quicker to those guys on the asphalt. So I think that's definitely what the difference is there. And having a little bit of a speedway background myself, I can get my head around it a little bit faster. But I was absolutely amazed with the guys that jumped in and had to go this evening for the race, and they absolutely owned it. A lot of them got onto the grasp of how to handle the car very quickly. But yeah, they're a different beast to drive on dirt, and certainly very exciting.
Yeah, you did mention earlier just then that the difference between the tarmac and the dirt is that you can adjust yourself more quickly than these drivers would. During the broadcast, we did notice that you are running a different livery than your Southern Stars red livery. Why don't you tell the viewers a bit about that?
Yeah, no worries. Well, being a dirt oval, I decided that we could just maybe run the Sky Point Dirt Oval series, and that's basically what you saw tonight on show with the supercars on dirt. And partly I do have Raymond and those guys to thank. They initially came up with the concept, and also Cam Waters with Tickford Racing also in the real world took a V8 supercar out to, I think, Warrnambool Raceway or one of them out there and tried an actual V8 supercar in the Speedway. And I think a lot of it was to its detriment because they shot about 18 hours worth of footage and they could only use about 15 seconds worth. So I think the supercar in the iRacing world might handle a little bit better than what they actually would in the real world.
Yeah, they'll definitely handle differently. I'll spread you across to Aiden. I'm sure he has something to say.
So he's spreading me across to you, Andy. That's a little bit concerning. I'm getting spread across to Andy Barber, but mate, in all seriousness,
especially after the liking cars on my rear bumper comment. I mean, the last time I looked up and saw a car on my rear car, it had a big 52 on it. So.
Well, mate, yeah, that's usually the case. I'm always following the number 5, mate. So yeah, I'm used to seeing the back end of it. But mate, good job tonight for P number 1 here for round number 4. Heading into round number 5 next week, we go across to Auto Club Speedway. So we're back on the asphalt. That's going to help your championship points. I'm going to jump you up there a little bit. How are you feeling coming into round number 5? I know you're not the most confident as much as you're a little bit modest on the ovals, asphalt ovals, but you're always very quick. How are you feeling coming into Auto Club next week? Do you think you can go back to back?
I don't know. I'll give it a try. I'll give it my best shot and working with the team and try and work the car out. And I guess if I'm at Auto Club next weekend and I'm going sideways, there's a problem. So very much looking forward to it. And it'll be nice to get back onto the tarmac and race the Sim Boys and Pinnacle and the rest of the other teams that are really, really tough to beat in this series.
Andy Barber, the winner of round number 4 tonight. A big shout out to everyone involved here, mate.
Yeah, no worries. Just first off, the Sky Point Dirt Oval League Series. So if you like what you saw tonight, we do have a league stacked full of the dirt ovals for the supercar. So check that out at skypointracing.com. And just our personal sponsors, which is the Southern Stars Esports team, Mrs. Excel Garage, Tiona Holiday Park, and Sky Point Sydney. And lastly, congratulations to Adam and Raymond on the podium. And I feel a bit bad for Adam because I did clip him on the way past, but good job by those guys. And I really love this series, the Australasian Supercar eSeries. So kudos to all of the guys that organise all the races. And lastly, you guys are doing an amazing job.
No worries mate. It's our absolute pleasure. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner here for round number 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries on dirt from Knoxville Raceway. It was the number 5 Southern Stars Esports racing entry of Andy Barber. Raymond Yeager home in P2 and Adam Malone home in P3. That does bring you to the end of our coverage tonight here for the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries, but it all does not stop here on the Intersim Esports Network. We'll be live again here on Tuesday night for the SkyPoint TCR League. We'll be live for the next round of that here from 7:15pm Australian Eastern Standard Time or 8:15pm Australian Eastern Daylight Time, wherever you may be. Then we'll be live again on Wednesday night for the second round of the Molecule TCR or Molecule TCR League by Procar. We'll be live here again on Wednesday night, same time, 7:15pm Australian Eastern Standard Time or 8:15pm Australian Eastern Daylight Time, wherever you may be. Then we go live again, once again, next Sunday night, where we're going to bring you all the action of round number 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries. We will be heading back to asphalt, and it will be Auto Club Speedway for 100 laps of supercar action around the ovals. But that brings to an end our broadcast here for round number 4 of the My Private Seller Australasian Supercar eSeries from Knoxville Raceway. Again, first place tonight was Andy Barber, second place Raymond Yeager, third place Adam Malone. But from myself, Paul, Ryan and Pete in behind the cameras and everyone involved in the Intersim Esports Network, we thank you for tuning in and we look forward to seeing you next time.